Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in to another episode of Across America Good News Edition. My name is Chip Brewster. I'm a national digital host for Nexstar Media. For the regular watchers of this show, maybe you missed me the last 2 weeks, or maybe you appreciated Pilar filling in. That is a new teammate of mine. I'm excited that she's on board and making content. You'll probably see her more as you continue to watch your local Nexstar station CTV app. For me, though, I'm excited to be back in it. This is my favorite show to make. And so here we are, Across America, Good News Edition, but I'm actually going to relabel this one Unique News Edition because the collection of stories, man, talk about a hard week to pick stories for just 30 minutes to fill. And while they don't all have like one thing in common, like, I don't know, I aim for a flow. They're all super unique. And trust me when I say this is one to watch all the way to the end. Let's talk about a couple of the videos coming up. A man accomplishes a huge marathon feat. We've got a sport that involves snow, but it's a very Western way to do it. A collection that is from history itself. You like puzzles, but they're boring? We might have a solution for you. A bakery that becomes known for not its baked goods. And then that last story will be an animal story. My signature, as best as I can pull it off anyway. But it's not of the cute and cuddly kind. No, this one we go to the Florida Everglades and we meet up with some python hunters. So again, huge slate of unique stories. Before we get to those though, we're gonna start with one. This is cool because I think it might be the first time that I brought you all a story. This was 3 weeks ago on a group of monks walking 1,500 miles from Texas to DC. Well, this is the end of that story. They reach their destination.
Yes, there was quite the massive turnout across Northern Virginia today to see these monks both in Alexandria and here in the Pentagon City area, spreading their message of mindfulness and peace, bringing people together from near and far. After 107 days and a 2,300-mile trek from Texas to Virginia, Buddhist monks on their walk for peace can almost see the finish line in D.C. Venerable Bhikkhu Panakara sharing his message of mindfulness in front of a crowd of hundreds Monday.
We are way too busy chasing because this world is spinning so fast, right? When it's spinning so fast and we try to chase after it because we are afraid that we will be left behind.
Hundreds of thousands of people have followed their journey on social media along the way. Some traveling thousands of miles to Old Town Alexandria Monday to see them in person.
I went home to Australia, packed this bag, jumped on a plane, and started following them from earlier in Virginia. If we want peace, we have to be peace. And I just want to support that message.
I feel like if they can do 2,300 miles for that, I could do something. And this doesn't feel like enough, but I don't know what else to do.
People tell us they're resonating with the monks' message of unity during turbulent times.
Don't let anybody control us. Don't let material control us. Instead, we should know how to manage our emotion and feelings. And peace is something that always begins from within.
Now the monks, they are moving farther north into Arlington toward Marymount University for the night. That is where they will stay over for the evening before waking up and continuing their journey into Washington, D.C. tomorrow morning with the ultimate goal of ending up right at the White House. In Arlington, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
Which they did successfully do. This is the story that I wanted to show you, though. And of note, I said 1,500. I said it 3 weeks ago. I must have mapped it wrong. They said 2,300. I trust our reporters on the ground there. So 2,300 miles walking. Very impressive. And again, like I said, a very unique story. Another unique one for you. And by the way, that came from our WDCW. That's our station in Washington, D.C. Hopefully that was self-explanatory. This next one, though, coming from our station WOOD in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And you might have heard of people who take on these marathon challenges. You know, it's like 7 marathons in 7 days or 10 marathons across 10 states. This one involves the number 50.
Okay, you're almost done.
The final miles were in the cold, but the support did help. Some support Captain Sweeney did not expect.
Go, Kevin!
His kids came out who've watched this idea turn into a 4-year reality.
I mean, 26.2 miles is no easy feat, and he has done it for 50 months straight here now, and we're just happy to be out here to cheer him on.
For 50 months straight.
See that someone's doing like his 50th?
Sweeney traveled the country, one marathon at a time.
For the past 4 years, he hasn't had any month where he hasn't been saying, overnight in a different state.
But this time, they didn't have to watch from afar.
How does it feel for the last one to be here in Michigan?
Cold. He could have planned this one better, but it's good to be home, I guess.
Waiting near the finish, family and fellow troopers.
I can only say this to the bad guys out there, that if you're thinking about running, don't run from him, because you'll just go to jail tired.
For the people who work alongside him, the challenge fits who they know him to be.
Oh, the guy's committed to excellence, integrity, and this is just another avenue where he is able to get out there and showcase his skills.
For this last stretch, a motivation from a familiar movie that fits the moment.
Why did we do this? Well, I just felt like running.
When Sweeney crossed the line, the journey that took him across America finally comes to an end.
So just really, it's been great all around.
But the message does not.
I hope that people can see that, they can set goals and then set out on a way and a path to achieve those goals.
That's one of those stories where, like, if you've ever thought about a half marathon, maybe full marathon, you see a guy that does it for 4 years straight, 50 different states. A marathon a month, that's 1,300 miles. There's a little bit of motivation for you. Impressive. And I agree with the kids. I appreciate him ending it in his home state, but like February, Michigan? Okay. All right. One way to do it. I got another story for you before we take a break. This one is coming to us from our station in Salt Lake City, KTVX, excuse me. And winter is absolutely required for this one. I'm sure you're familiar with snow skiing, maybe cross-country skiing. Maybe you're familiar with water skiing, where you're pulled by a boat across water. Have you ever heard of skijoring, though?
This is the third annual Winter Roundup presented by Visit Salt Lake and the Utah Days of 47 Rodeo. We're kind of in our festival village right here, but as you can see behind me, there's a big crowd and we have skijoring going on. And skijoring is when, you kind of think of water skiing, a boat pulling water skiers, kind of like that, but instead of a boat, you switch it out for a horse and you're pulling skiers on snow. They're skiing between gates and they hit jumps. Skijoring is actually from Norway, and they actually get pulled by reindeer over there. Believe it or not, it was actually an exhibition event in the 1927 Olympics, so it's been around for a while. We're really lucky to have such amazing partners up at the Cottonwood Canyon Ski Resorts. Solitude Ski Resort, Alta Ski Area. We brought in some snow that we use from their parking lots that they're already kind of moving anyway to build this track out. My personal favorite part is the cowboys. I feel like an imposter cowboy. There's real cowboys out here and they're awesome.
And now you learn just a little something about me. I have water skied. I've done it live on TV water skiing. I've snow skied since I was a little kid. Love it. Literally, alpine skiing, #1 favorite sport. And so maybe it wouldn't surprise you at this point. I want to try that. Like, legitimately. Somebody find me a horse and some snow. I've already got the skis. Skijoring. Super cool, super unique. Such a Western thing, right? Being pulled by a horse and a cowboy to do that. I've got more unique stories after a really quick break. I'll see you guys on the other side. Welcome back. Across America, Unique Stories Edition. Chip Brewster here to help guide you through what our local Nexstar journalists have gathered over the last week. I am now taking you out to Lexington, Kentucky, our station there, WDKY, to a collection. This is a super unique collection, and it's definitely history. Like, it is true history, but it's one that you can listen to. You'll see exactly what I mean in 3, 2, 1.
Even though Brian Gorell is retired, he spends a lot of time in his basement working, and even more time playing. Playing discs produced in the days before radio, on machines that allowed people to enjoy music in their homes.
Basically, there are enough collectors out in the world, and especially in the United States, that you can get parts, and then difficult parts to get. They're craftsmen that make the parts so that we can keep these going on, and we can still listen to it as they did 100 years ago.
Brian has more than 200 phonographs, including some of the very earliest produced by Thomas Edison's company in the 1880s that play wax cylinders. This basement is like a museum with some rare things here, such as a coin-operated phonograph, one hidden in a lamp, and accessories such as hand-carved dancers. Over time, phonographs became pieces of furniture.
There's the horn.
Many people dismiss the players today because they think they sound scratchy. Brian says they should get in the groove.
If you have a fresh needle, say if you're playing a disc player, and a good record that's not all scratched up, it's remarkable the sound that you get and the fidelity just coming out of an acoustic horn.
Even if you don't know a lot about phonographs, you've probably used a term associated with them. Many of the models didn't have volume control, so if you wanted to quiet them, you told someone to put a sock in it. Brian, a retired band director and music teacher, has found some like-minded people in the region. They formed a chapter of the Antique Phonograph Society and meet monthly to share knowledge. And he's always on the lookout for another machine. His collection also includes music boxes and a Nickelodeon.
And here it's strictly by volume. If I bring something new in, something of equal volume or taking up space has to leave.
Now, when Brian fixes up a phonograph to sell, he finds the buyers are mostly young people, fascinated by something that works so well without electricity.
A lot of the fun is sharing it with somebody, letting other people see what your passion is and just to see their reactions.
His passion is to ensure that 19th century machines keep bringing joy well into the 21st century and maybe beyond. In Lexington, Marvin Bartlett with the spirit of the bluegrass.
So many things in that story just hit me. Like, well, of course, the put a sock in it phrase. I love phrases, turns of phrase, and especially the history of them, like to the point where I'll say one now and my wife will be like, that's not real. You made that up. I'm like, no. So put in a sock in it. Now I know where that one came from. Oh, joy. And then also just, again, like you walk into that space and I had the same thought. It's like a museum. No, it is a passionate person's basement, private collection. And we got to see it because that local journalist was able to talk to him, interview him, and bring the story to us. So super cool, super unique. Let's continue on with uniqueness, shall we? Our next story coming to us from Colorado Springs, Colorado, our station KXRM. And this is where at the top of the show where I said, oh, do you like puzzles, but maybe they're a little boring or a little slow? This is probably the answer. Adrenaline and puzzles. Put them together, you get this.
3, 2, 1, go!
Forget everything you thought you knew about puzzling.
It's like an adrenaline rush. It really is.
This is speed puzzling.
It's just fun. It is entertaining and stressful at the same time.
And the competition is, fierce.
Denver is I think one of the top 5 ranked areas for speed puzzling, and it's growing immensely, 600% or more every year.
A friend of mine sent me a text, like a video of people doing speed puzzling because I puzzle a lot, like on my own at home, and they were like, "You might be interested in this," and I was immediately like, "Yes, I am interested in this."
While people put the pieces together in Monument, other competitions are happening at the same time with the same puzzles across America.
I've been coast to coast, all over the country doing these, and I'll see different nationalities, different cultures. And I don't know who the person voted for. I don't know their sexual preferences. I don't know what church they go to, if any. But we don't care. We're just all there having fun.
Speedpuzzling.com hosts this competition, which includes 4 events: solo, pairs relay, and team.
Our solo is a 300-piece, and it's an hour. Our pair is a 300-piece, and it's 45 minutes. And then our 4-man team is a 500-piece, and it is an hour. Done.
Sarah won the solo competition, completing her 300-piece puzzle in just over 30 minutes.
I think I'm still shaking right now.
The adrenaline is real. And so are the connections beyond the table.
The puzzling community is super fun and just really nice people, and everyone's very excited about puzzles, which none of my friends are excited about puzzles out of this community.
New friendships are built piece by piece here.
We're connected. We try to connect people together. And so community, we all need community. We all need connection.
I do see a lot of the same people in the jigsaw puzzle community, and it's so great because everyone is so willing to give tips and tricks, and they're willing to switch up partnerships and teams, and it's just really fun, a really welcoming, positive, uplifting community.
The only question is, are you game?
You don't know if you don't try, so definitely give it a shot.
You get to keep the puzzle either way.
Yeah.
I think what I love most about this particular story is that even though it was done by our Colorado Springs station, I can almost guarantee wherever you're watching this program, there is probably a speed puzzling event near you. So this is one where if you saw it and you're interested, you can actually go and experience one for yourself. So that's pretty cool, which also there's another note here I like to give during these shows. For any of these stories, if you've seen something that you're interested in and want more information, check out that specific station's website. It's part of the reason that I tell you where it came from. So again, that one, KXRM. One more story, then one more break, then the Python story. So this next one's coming from our station in Burlington, Vermont, WFFF, and it's about a local bakery. And when you hear bakery, you're probably thinking about, I don't know, cookies, cakes, cupcakes, muffins, baked things, bread, I don't know. No, that's not what this story is about.
When Claire George founded Butterfly Bakery in 2003, making hot sauce wasn't part of the plan.
I started it as a small natural foods bakery, baking in the middle of the night.
Eventually, she started selling her products at farmers markets.
If those things would sell well, then great. And if they wouldn't sell well, then we would trade them with farmers for what they had left over at the end of the market.
The most common item, chili peppers. Despite growing well here in Vermont, George says there wasn't a huge market for them.
What do you do with a bunch of chili peppers but make hot sauce? And that turned out to be a huge hit.
The sauce was an instant success, and not long after, she went all in.
Now we're really a farm-to-fork food manufacturer. Everything we make is made with ingredients that are sourced directly from small Vermont farms.
George sells her hot sauces under the Butterfly Bakery brand, but the business is also a co-packer, meaning they make sauces for other brands as well.
We're always experimenting. We're always trying something new. Some of those things just we make them once and that's it. We're never going to make them again. Other ones become a sauce on Hot Ones, for example.
You heard right. George's creations have gained national attention, having made multiple sauces featured on the hit YouTube series. Her newest one, the Smoked Serrano Squash Reaper X sauce, made its debut on the current season. I got the chance to try it out.
This is number 9 on Hot Ones. So this is a extra super hot, kind of ridiculous sauce. Okay. And it's designed to be that way.
Totally. All right, are we shooting a little cheers?
Yes, cheers.
Awesome. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. It's hot, flavorful, and certainly packs a punch. Last year, between her own brand and others, George says they produced around 500,000 units.
Everybody has their own personal relationship with our products. This is the sauce that they like to bring to their family events, to their coworkers. I like kind of being a part of other people's lives in the way that fits for them.
Butterfly Bakery has a wide variety of products. You can see them all by checking out their website. A link can be found on mychamplainvalley.com. In Barrie, Lily Sakaniwa, ABC 22 News.
That reporter is lucky. I'm just going to say that. I did a hot sauce thing once on live TV. Shout out to any real Milwaukee fans out there from 15 years ago. And I was absolutely bawling as a result. It was a horrible result. Yeah, memories. Hey, if you want to try that, talking about stories that you can actually interact with, Butterfly Bakery from Vermont. I bet you could find, I'm just a guess, you probably find them online, probably order some stuff if you're interested yourself. The Hot Ones thing definitely caught my ear. We have got one more quick break, and then after this, we're going to Florida, where we're going to hook up with some python hunters. I'll see you guys in a minute. At this point, this next story really needs no introduction. I will just add this one comment. I actually worked in Tampa at the Fox station down there for 2 years, and so I was already aware of the python problem. If you haven't heard of this, though, it is a true big issue. Hundreds of thousands of pythons. They're an invasive species. They're messing with the ecosystem. So what does Florida do? They have a python hunting season. And this story from our Tampa station, WFLA, takes you sort of behind the scenes on the ride. They hook up with the hunters. And so you can see what it's actually like to take part in python hunting season.
Thousands of wildlife species call the Everglades home. One species, however, is unwanted and taking over. The hunt is on to catch as many as possible and save the Florida Everglades. I can tell you the hunt was a thrilling adventure from the start, and it had a wild finish.
It's so fun. I didn't catch it, but I spotted it.
That was an awesome spot.
My gosh.
He was under the thing I couldn't see. That was so good.
Excitement and relief after a long night hunting just outside of the Everglades for one of Florida's most elusive invaders, the Burmese python. This was the grand finale of a hunt that took hours and a lot of patience, along with the help from Amy Siwi, also known as the Python Huntress.
They spend 85% of their time not moving, right? So we have to get them when they are moving. If they're sleeping, if they're curled up somewhere, we're never gonna find them.
As dusk fell one evening in Southwest Florida, not too far from local neighborhoods, I geared up to see what this hunt involves.
All right, so here's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So this is my side and this is your side.
Okay.
Right? If you take your eye off the road for, just a second, sometimes you miss them, even though we're going slow.
Slowly driving up and down the road, looking for snakes on the road, in the grass, and periscoping up on the sides.
There's a snake in the road, guys. It's not a python, but it's a snake. It's probably a cottonmouth or a banded. Nope, this is a banded.
Throughout the night, we came across numerous snakes.
So he's on point, he knows what's going on, but I want to get him off of the road because I don't want somebody to come barreling down here and kill him because he's one of our native snakes and we need our native snakes.
Native snakes keep the natural Everglades ecosystem in balance by controlling rodent and insect populations.
There you go, buddy. Nope, don't go that way. Go the other way. There you go. All right. Another baby saved.
But with no natural predators, the estimated 500,000 Burmese pythons are threatening the delicate balance of that ecosystem.
Seen a couple of possums so far this year. I haven't seen a rabbit forever. I haven't seen a squirrel in probably 3 years.
Large mammals like deer, pigs, and bobcats are also on the menu.
It's sad that we don't see as many mammals as we should at all because they're gone.
This is why the state hosts the annual Python Challenge. But as I found out, they are tough to find and even tougher to catch.
Started taking off. I have no idea where his head is.
It took about 6 hours of searching, but I finally spotted what I thought was a small snake's head behind the guardrail. We stopped immediately.
There. Oh my gosh, he's way bigger than I thought.
In a matter of seconds, Amy was out of the truck and wrestling this 10-foot python in the bushes.
He's slippery. He's slippery because he's wet.
Amy had one goal: don't lose the snake, even if the fight takes her into the bushes.
Got him? Yeah, I got the tail. I have no idea where the head is. He's probably gonna bite me in the butt.
It was a fight that needed a second hand. All I could do was stand back and watch.
You're sitting on his head.
Amy and her husband finally got control of the snake and pulled it out of the bush.
So what did you see?
So I really just saw its head, and I'm surprised at how big it is compared to what I saw, because I saw its head and I was like, oh, it's a snake, but I thought it was small.
Yeah.
And then you went in there and pulled this out.
It's all about teamwork.
Yeah.
Pythoning is all about teamwork.
That 10-foot python is only 3 years old and weighs about 45 pounds.
So she probably just came off of her nest. She's probably looking for something to eat.
It had to eat over 200 native mammals to get to be that size, and she is not done growing. After one last attempt at constricting me, we took a few pictures and dispatched it. Just like that, one more python was out of the Everglades, but the work is far from over. While the scientists will continue to do the research on how to control the population, the expert catchers say they will continue to do the dirty work, one snake at a time. Amanda Holly, 8 on your side.
Holy crap, Amanda Holly. Wow. How many of you would go for a python hunt? And I know she didn't wrestle it out, but then she let it wrap around her neck and impress. Just an impressive story all around. And that's why it was at the end of the show. Worth waiting for, I hope. Thank you all for watching another episode of Across America Good News Edition. My name is Chip Rooster. I hope to keep seeing you on future episodes. I think Pilar's going to be back too, so we'll get this team effort thing going. So until the next one, have a great time, and remember, keep up with the good news.